Hello and welcome to today's web seminar, Filling the Pipeline with Trucking Insurance Prospects for 2017 and Beyond. This webinar is brought to you by StartUpSelling and their insurance marketing and lead gen professionals. We have two speakers today. Alan Bloom, he's an author and also the founder of StartUpSelling, two-time Inc. 500 list alum, the creator of the Prospect Scorecard, author of over 150 articles, and a true insurance marketing expert. And my name is John Scranton. I'm formerly a licensed agent, an MBA, co-authored Sell More and Work Less, and am also considered a marketing and lead gen professional. So let's dive right in. Key topics that we'll be covering today. First, we're going to share a few case studies to show you why we think filling your agency pipeline with trucking insurance prospects is such a great opportunity. Then we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of how it's done. That's through list generation, a compelling call pitch or script, a great appointment setter, a tight lead handling process, support from a mobile-friendly website, and then we're going to close by telling you how easy it can be to get started. So let's jump in to those case study results. Here's 3 examples of insurance agencies around the country, all leveraging an appointment setting initiative to access trucking prospects and fill their pipeline with truck insurance prospects. The first of which is a Northeast to Mid-Atlantic centric agency. They'll work with any size trucking account, but typically focus on 10 to 75 or 10 to 100 truck accounts. And since February 2015, the last 18 months or so, they've had 338 appointments scheduled, about an average of 4 per week during the active calling weeks. And if you think about that, that's nearly an appointment every business day, about 15, 16 per month. And if you want to ROI a scenario like that and say maybe they'll have a low closing ratio of just 10%, that would be 1.5 accounts of new business per month. Let's round that down to 1 10 truck account. You'd have a $6,000 to $8,000, maybe even $10,000 new business commission every month. So very compelling ROI, regardless of what your marketing or lead gen investment might be. An East Coast agency down the coast, targeting 1 to 5 truck accounts. They are going with a high volume, high quote, and hopefully high close approach. 459 appointments since September 2015, over 10 appointments per week. So lots of opportunity. A Southwest agency, again, going after pretty much everybody. The bulk of their prospect list is in the 5 to 25 realm, but they even have some onesie twosies and a few whales that they have on the list and that they've had appointments set with. 150 appointments for them since February of this year, averaging 4.5 appointments per week. So those stories give you an idea of what can be accomplished if you leverage the tools that we're going to talk about today, or the best practices that we're going to talk about today. They all use the same methodology to achieve these compelling results. The first part of that methodology is the prospect list. A great prospect list is a requirement. It is a precursor for a great project, just like a bad list will be a bad precursor for a lead gen initiative. There's a very unique opportunity in trucking because prospects must report their company information to the DOT, including their insurance information. Once it's reported, that becomes public information. Anybody can get it, and there are vendors out there that will download and sort this data for you so you can decide that you want a list consisting of Indiana, Illinois, and Iowa 5 to 25 power unit accounts who haul anything other than hazmat, who have nice, clean alert records. And for those of you who may not be familiar, you can track the number of alerts they have. It often relates to issues, underwriting activity, claims activity. So you can have a list that is that representative of those people you want to target, that focused on who you actually want to write, and it includes X dates. There's no other industry out there where you can go get a list, a large, high-volume list of prospects that you want to talk to with their X dates. Some states you can go to the Workers' Comp Board website and look up a single account or a few accounts, but in no way can you download thousands of them and suddenly have accurate insurance and X date information. So not only Are you calling the right people in your target profile? You're calling them at the right time. So when you're finding a list vendor to work with to build this great prospect list, the keys are their data accuracy, how accurate, how complete the data is, and how frequently they update that data. There's price points all over the map with these list vendors, and they're often based on how often they're refreshing, updating their data. So once you have a great list that represents the people you want to talk to, the people you think you can help, that your markets have a great appetite for, that you know how to service, you need to create a pitch or script that you can deliver to them to get them interested in your agency. Our biggest piece of advice with a call, pitch, or script is be concise and direct. Don't meander, don't waste words, and certainly don't use vague terminology. It should be delivered in about 15 seconds or less, which probably sounds very short, and it will need to be. I like to say you need to have a good 1-2 punch because that's all you're going to have time for. Then they're going to say no thanks or hang up, or hopefully, if your 1-2 punch was good, ask for more information or agree to an appointment. Things that work well in a call pitch. Specialization. Trucking is all we do. It's all we've ever done for 46 years. Exclusive or unique markets. We have a new program, an exclusive market that nobody else has. Even if you have a limited offering market that only a few key agencies have, that can help. Much better than just saying, yeah, we have all the markets. If you have a unique service or safety program, we have a safety program that helps you lower your CSA scores by doing blank. Offering projected savings estimates. People who use our program often save 10 to 15%. So what might a pitch sound like? Hi, this is John calling from ABC Truck Insurance. Transportation insurance is all we do. We have a new exclusive program for businesses like yours, often saving our clients 10 to 15%. Are you available Tuesday at 10 a.m. to learn more? My only criticism about that is I may have had a few extraneous words in there. It could be a few words shorter, believe it or not. Always avoid vague or obtuse terminology. If you call offering to somebody to help their risk profile or their cost of risk, they're not going to be interested. If you specialize in trucking and have a new program that will save them money or help them improve their business, they're much more likely to be interested. And you need to quickly ask for the appointment. After the 12 or 13 seconds of your pitch, use that 14th and 15th seconds to say, are you interested on Tuesday at 10 or whatever it may be. Don't waste the valuable time and get the person hooked as quickly as you can. So you build a great list, you write a great pitch, now you need somebody to deliver that message. As a former insurance producer, I know that insurance producers are busy servicing their book, going out to find new prospects, attending to agency business. They don't have time to sit at their desk and make hours and hours of cold calls. Unless it's their first day on the job, right out of insurance school, they can't make cold calls all day. And that's where an appointment setter comes in. In all three of the case studies we shared today, great appointment setters are used. And the way we find great appointment setters to work with our clients is by finding somebody who has telemarketing experience. Somebody who's green and says, yeah, I think I could make 20 to 25 calls per hour is probably biting off more than they can chew. I've been in sales my entire career, and I know there's no way I can make 20 to 25 calls per hour, which is why I do something a little bit differently, and I leverage appointment setters to help me. They have to have a unique skill set, be very disciplined, be very organized. To dial the phone 25 times in an hour, it takes tremendous focus and discipline, and you need to have a great organizational system because you're going to be churning through maybe 100, 150 prospects per day, depending on how many hours of calls you're making. To fill the pipeline with trucking prospects, you need an appointment setter that understands insurance. Obvious things like carriers and X dates, but also the different lines of coverage. If somebody mentions workers' comp or something like that with a separate X date, they can't become confused. They need to be able to carry on an intelligent conversation. And they also must understand trucking. There's a lot of lingo, a lot of terminology. If a trucking prospect says they have a reefer operation or they do heavy haul, the appointment setter needs to understand what they mean, how to respond, what follow-up questions to ask, and also understand the different industry-specific coverages. A cargo policy, a standalone cargo policy, a brokerage exposure, a warehouse exposure, different things that you don't see in your everyday BOP business or middle market business that will show the trucking prospects that you understand their business and challenges, and that the appointment setter you're using is a professional extension or representation of your agency. So if you have a great list and a great pitch and a great appointment setter, you'll get great activity. And Alan, I'd like you to talk a little bit about what a lead alert should look like, what it can include, and how to handle leads as they come into your agency as you fill the pipeline with trucking prospects.
Thanks, John. That was an excellent overview of appointment setting. So now that the appointment has been made, what is the process that agencies should use to make sure that they understand the opportunity, that the producer has been effectively handed that opportunity, and that opportunity will go well and there will be follow-up with it? And we call this comprehensively the lead handling process. It doesn't have to be complex. It just has to be thought through and implemented. So what we recommend is you use a lead alert. And a lead alert is an email that comes in the same day typically, or the next morning, for example, that there is a lead. In this case, this is an actual lead alert with the details change. Fast Delivery Transportation, Inc. They're in Springfield, Illinois. Here's their website. Here's their email. John Jones is the president. 43 power units. It's a large opportunity. Our appointment setters, or your appointment setters, would want to get breakdowns. You know, how many owner-operators, how many drivers, power units, trailers, radius, type of cargo, anything special. They had a claim. They have a, you know, they have a good CSA score. They have violations, and that lead alert is then sent to the person or people who are supposed to follow up on them and turn those opportunities into business. Again, it doesn't have to be complicated, but think of it this way. If an appointment setter is getting 2 appointments a day and the appointments range from 1 to 10 power units, there's a lot of opportunity in those appointments every day. You want to have a coherent, thought through, preferably documented lead handling process. If you don't, go create one. If you have one, make sure you revisit it, that it's a solid process. And above all, make sure that the producers are following up, and that's easy to do because this will become an ongoing list. Every appointment that's made should be in an Excel spreadsheet. These could be shared, for example, using Google Docs or other types of software so that they're available secure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And these are the food for the growth of your agency, whether you do it internally or you outsource it. Think of this: if you're generating 1 a week, 1 a day, 2 a day, depending on your profile, it becomes a huge amount of quotation opportunities for your agency. And underneath you'll see arrows: lead received, invitation sent, producers researched it, confirmation is sent, collateral if applicable, and then they're ready for the appointment. And then of course after that it would be follow-up and close. How does it go into your pipeline? If you don't have a process in place, that's something that we often help people create. Let's continue on. So when you think about the lead handling process, it seems odd to then move to mobile websites. You can have an effective lead handling process and an effective lead development system even if you don't have a mobile compliant website. However, these days it's a shame if you haven't updated your website. It's not that expensive to do, and truckers have become mobile. Not only are truckers mobile, they're all over social media. So if you've engaged a trucker whether it's an owner-operator or somebody perhaps who has a small fleet but also does some delivery, has a CDL, or even if it's somebody who's a president. Regardless, it's likely they will go to your website, and many of them go via tablet or smartphone today. So if you haven't done this yet, either as a separate initiative or a complementary initiative, it's really great to be thinking, hey, is it time to update my insurance agency website so it's mobile compliant, so it looks good, so it's easy to use on a smartphone, and do I have a presence on social media? Again, very fast and easy to do. To look professional, no reason not to do that. So whether you're thinking about insourcing or outsourcing, these are really great tips that we've gone through. John has had some awesome tips as far as how you can go about doing it or how it should be done. And with that, John, why don't you wrap up today?
So what did we learn today? We tried to deliver a lot of information to you quickly. The keys are you have to have a great list. You have to have a great pitch. You have to have a professional caller. And as Alan mentioned, if you're going to be reaching out to these people, they're going to be going to your website. It shouldn't be an embarrassment. It should actually be a service enhancement because so many of these transportation clients are going to be mobile. They're going to be in trucks. They're going to be on an iPad while they're sleeping in a rest area. They want easy to access certificates and contact information. So don't neglect mobile and social. You can do these either by staffing up, hire a caller, train them. You can have somebody, if you have an IT person, work on your website, or you can outsource to a competent insurance marketing organization like ours. We've shown you many scenarios where we've helped agencies like yours build their transportation pipeline and eventually build their transportation book of business. So with that, we thank all of you for attending today. If you'd like to learn more, or if you'd like a complimentary review of your current lead gen process or a synopsis of an effective trucking lead gen process, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is on the screen, and we'd be happy to schedule one with you. With that, today's web seminar is now ending. We hope you all have a great day.